Alright, so now I have all of the pieces the way I want them. There we go. I think I should just glue these together now. So I do need to find which sides are the bottom and which sides are the top. It may sound self-explanatory, but it's not. And so now I gotta glue them together. This is somewhat of the hard part. So I need to figure out exactly how I want them to sit, and you can kind of see there's about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, maybe let me see exactly how long that is. It's about a 1/2 inch into it. Now this is annoying to put glue on. Okay, there's probably way too much on here, but this side soaks it up way faster than the other side. So the battery in my camera died, so I'm on another one now. Anyway, this is as done as it's gonna get anyway. Doesn't look that great in the, you can see kind of some glue. It's because that glue was freaking terrible. So, whatever. And then I dremeled this to be wider and more smooth. So I don't know how much of that you saw from making it, but I am gluing the entire thing rather than just to the line. Alright, this thing should be dry. It's actually been a couple hours, so this thing should be well dried. So I actually went to go eat dinner and everything, and now it's dark out. So, and actually, when I started this, when I did this part, yeah, that was like 3 hours ago. So, alright, and it is all good to go. That looks so much better. So, it's gonna be kind of hard to tell probably, but let me zoom in. Alright, so you can see on this one, you see how you can see all the glue inside it and stuff? Yeah, you can see like all that stuff in there. This one you don't see all of that. You can sort of see some there, but that's actually really, where is that? Right there? Yeah. You can really only see that because the light's on it. When I'm looking down at it, I can't see it at all. So, yeah, it looks a lot better. And now on to the next part. So I did this kind of just on my own. This is the design that's going to go around here. So it's not the best, but whatever. These also aren't shaped the best. They're not like exact, so I had to kind of work with what I had. But this is the shape. So just like literally everything else, we're going to trace it and cut it out. But these two need to be a little bit longer. I did need to shorten this because I made it, the piece, a little bit shorter so it fits around my arm better, which means I had to shorten this. But because of the outside area being bigger, because the pieces of foam were thicker, that means that this side of it stretched a little bit, so it's a little bigger. That means these need to be a little bit longer, so I left some room. They're only about 1/2 inch maybe, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to do that, flip it over, and make another one. Now, the actual piece itself is kind of 3D looking, so when I do finish the second piece, I'm gonna do them both on here before I cut it out. I am going to cut out strips that fit along the inside here that are big enough so that I can make it look kind of 3D. Alright, so this is actually good enough for me to consider a success. So let me tell you what I did here. It may kind of be obvious, but just in case. So I was originally going to do 2 layers inside it, but it ended up not being wide enough for that to be a good idea. It wouldn't have worked out as well as I hoped it would. So what I did was I have traced it out onto the piece and then put glue all over the, oh, you can't see that. I traced it out over the piece and then covered that in glue, and this part is just 1 layer all the way across, or 1 layer of extra in it rather than the 2 that I was going to do, to make it more 3D looking. So that's what I did, and I'm about to put this on, and it looks like it's almost there. I already put the glue on this side too, so it should be pretty close to time. So I'm going to match it up to the tracing outline of it as best as I can. Not the greatest, but it'll Be better than nothing. Good enough. All right. So, and then we're gonna press down like this, because you can see there it shows through to have that 3D effect. Oh, that's actually really cool looking. I like that. I'm glad I did that design. Yeah, that looks really cool. I don't know how easy it is to see, but it looks really good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this came out. So, I started the second one, but I wanted to make sure this was actually as good as I was hoping it was going to be. And it is. So that's great news for me. So, oops. It's going to look like that when it's on. Now the character, for some reason, when it's like showing the side, like this is basically a side view, you can only just barely see this. Like, it's not centered like this. It's like this, which is really odd. So that's why I made this so far back, because that's kind of how it shows on the character. And when I spin the character model around, because you can do that, you can, when you go to the back side, you can actually see this more prominently. So like this would be a back view. It's really weird, but either way, this turned out exactly how I wanted it to. So I'm happy about that. So I'm just going to do the same exact thing to the next one, but with that one. Alright, so today we're going to be doing the wings, or as much of the wings as I can possibly do. So I've got this image right here. I've noticed in this back image, it might be hard to see, so let me do this. See if this works. Yeah, it's still going to be really hard to tell, but right here you can see this color right there, the little peach color or whatever, that's under the hair. That is the back of the armor, and the wings angle up into it, so they'll come out of the armor here and then come down. So this would be like here, and then it would come up, but then the feathers would come down. So and I do have to make, I have to make them not as wide as they are. That's not going to happen, making them that big. I'm not going to be able to walk around anywhere, so I'm going to make them a little bit smaller probably. And then I'm making them in 3 pieces. So as you can see, there's this front piece here that has these forward ones, the ones that are facing forward. There's another set in the back, and then this bigger set. So the bigger set, I'm going to make everything that sized, and then I'm going to go over it again with a second layer and do that, so that way it's just one big piece going across, and hopefully it works. I'll see what happens. So yeah, around here it would do this, and then come back up. Okay, yeah, this should be big enough now that I think about it. Alright. Back up here. So I'm gonna do this so that this squiggly one, the squiggly ones are going to be the underneath ones, like the layer 2, and then these non-squiggly ones are going to be the second layer that goes on top. This one. Oh, I don't need to make it any bigger. Sweet. That works. It just barely reaches the end there. That's amazing. Alright, so this one is the biggest one, and it's gonna go like that. And then, so we need to cut this out now, and I'm gonna cut it out on this line, this bottom line here, because this is actually going to be the PVC pipe. Then it's gonna get covered in foam, like the other foam. So I don't need to worry too much about that one. So let's cut this out. So there's a wing. That is freaking huge. This is not going to be fun. So I am going to be making it out of this type of foam, the EVA foam sheets. Ooh, there's a needle in that one. Or a pin that I forgot to take out. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna put this on foam that's been stuck together, and just 2 pieces should work fine. That I'm really hoping. And then, you know what? No, it might not be good enough. I was thinking I could cut everything out, and then Dremel in these, like carve in the rest of it. But that would be way too time consuming and probably way too difficult, so I'm not going to do that. So let's see how well this fits on foam. And would you look at that, it fits. Also, you guys may have seen in a previous video a sword from Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. It was a scimitar. It was the blue and silver thing that I made before. This is how I did that, with 2 pieces of foam like this. Each blade, the blade is in 3 pieces, like it's 3 layers, and each layer is made with 2 pieces of foam because they're so big. So this is how I did that, if you guys were wondering. Just trace it on, cut it out carefully, and then where the puzzle pieces meet, you just glue them back together with contact cement. So my camera died in the middle of this again because I can't have nice things. So I don't know why it keeps doing it, but my camera likes to do this thing where it just doesn't work sometimes. So yeah, it just died in the middle of me doing this, even though I barely was using it. So anyway, I don't know what you guys saw or didn't see. So I just pinned it down and traced it out. Now we're moving on to cutting it. So I'm just gonna cut it. Nothing much to that. Also, for how I'm cutting this one, I'm not cutting angles into it because later on I'm going to cut as small of angles as possible, and none if that is possible, because I'm going to be layering on top of it. So, and then I'm going to sand away at it anyway. So I'm not doing that good of a cutting job, but I don't think it's going to matter. When people are looking at this, it's going to be next to impossible for them to notice any slight differences in the sizing of the wings. People aren't going to be able to pick up on that. It'll be too slight because they're such big items that no one's going to even notice. Putting these pieces back together, we have a wing. That is amazing. I'm actually going to go hold it up to my armor and see if it's good enough. So I'm gonna do that off camera because I have to pull it out of a corner and everything, and I don't want to move the camera. So yeah. Okay, that did not work like I wanted it to. So we have to do this the hard way now. I did actually get the backs pretty much sanded off of these smaller pieces. With the larger pieces, not so much. So bad news here. I did this one. For the most part, it just didn't work out. It's too big of a piece. And now I'm going to trace out exactly what I need to do here. Alright, and with that done, I can now use the Dremel and sand the entire thing down. So I think I have a method for this. It's not going to be the prettiest or the best, but I'm only going to do it kind of to about this far, so you can see where I grind it down. It's not the best, but it'll at least look rounded off, so that's better than nothing. So I'm just gonna do that, and I have a great idea that I can do that for like the inner corners and stuff for the most part, and then if I take a bigger sander like one of the hand sanders, I might be able to easily get the rest of it off without a problem. I'm gonna see what happens first though. So this is as good as this is really gonna get. So I got this side done basically, but anyway, let's get on with this. I'm gonna try to do this the same. No, maybe not. So when I did the other side, I just dumped the glue onto it and used one of these foam brushes to spread it around. This actually is a lot better. So on the other side, this was a horrible idea because I didn't really need the sponge brush for anything. It didn't really, like, being a sponge didn't really make a difference. Like, it could have been any brush. But back here, this soaks it in a lot more. So, I think this is actually a great idea for this side. Okay, amazingly, my camera didn't die during this. This is like a first. So, yeah, there's that. This isn't centered very well. So, there's that. Nothing I can do about it. Oh, I need to fix right here. I didn't do that. Hold on. Alright, that should be good. It's not the best, but it'll be good. The next thing I need to do when this all cures, because I haven't let the other side cure all the way yet, so I'm going to let it cure overnight because it takes a few hours, and it's like 8 o'clock at night, so I'm just going to wait until tomorrow. Anyway, because of that, I'm going to wait until then to do the next part, and the next part is going to be, so there's these pieces here that are like these overlapped pieces, but they meet up right here, and I'm going to grind those down so that they're more smooth together, and then I'm going to cover the whole thing in Mod Podge. So, yeah, that's the next part.